Hello and welcome to another episode of Magic the Opening. I'll be opening yet another package or booster of Modern Masters. This one has the new artwork for Dark Confidant on the front of it. So hopefully we open a Dark Confidant inside, because that's how it works, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's get opening. And again, as a reminder, there is a foil card in each pack of Modern Masters, which is why they cost, I believe, $6.99 per pack. Or, well, if you can find them for that cheap, most people charge more. Anyway, we have Imperiosaur. He is from Time Spiral block. He was in Future Sight. He had the different frame where it had the numbers on the side, like Tarmogoyf, the original one. You have to pay basic... the mana that you pay to pay for him has to be from basic lands. So you don't have to pay with all forests, but the forests, obviously you'll have to pay from forests, but the two colorless can be mountains or plains or whatever, and it is a 5/5 for 4 mana. So that's really good in limited and draft, because that's pretty much what your mana pool is, or your mana is going to be, is just basic lands. Alright, we have Stinkweed Imp. This is the artwork from the dual deck of Angels versus Demons, I believe, or Angelic versus Demonic. 3 mana for 1/2, flying. It doesn't technically have Death Touch. It has, if it dealt combat damage, then it destroys target creature. So that way, if you do some sort of, this fights another creature, for instance, then it won't kill them. Because, well, unless it is combat damage? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't technically have Death Touch. It wasn't reprinted that way because the wording was different. But the big thing is this has Dredge 5, so if you would draw a card instead, you can return this from your graveyard and just mill the top 5 cards of your library into your graveyard. This is a big part of the Dredge decks in Legacy, yes. Festering Goblin. There's a Goblins theme. This is from, I don't remember where it's from originally, but it was printed in 10th edition. I know that, so that's why it qualifies for Modern Masters. 1 mana for 1/1, Zombie Goblin, or Zoblin, you could call it. When it dies, target creature gets -1/-1. So, you know, efficient for a 1/1, and it goes with the Goblin decks. Hanakami, 1 mana for 1/1. This is from the Kamigawa block. Essentially, you pay 2, sacrifice it, return target arcane card from your graveyard to your hand, which was a subtype of sorceries and instants. So you're not going to use this guy much for attacking, mostly chump blocking, and then you're going to sack him to get a card back from your graveyard for value. Warren Weirding, 2 mana, tribal sorcery goblin. It's essentially a Cruel Edict effect, except it can be used in goblin decks, so you can use Goblin Matron to search it up, and then you can use it to kill that pesky creature your opponent has in Legacy. You know, maybe a something with hexproof. So then that way it's a way of killing that. Alright, there's lots of great artifacts in this set. This is Arcbound Stinger. This is 2 mana for a 1/1 flyer. It's modular, so it comes in with 1/1 counter. And when it dies, you may put that counter on another target artifact creature. And that's from Mirrodin block. Sting Scourger also sees plays in Legacy Goblin decks. 2 mana for 2/2. This is from Time Spiral block. It has Echo of 4, and which means you have to pay it at the beginning of your upkeep, or otherwise you have to sacrifice it. But when it enters play, you can essentially bounce a creature from the graveyard back to the owner's hand, though it has to be an opponent, so you can't bounce one of your own. But this is an effective way to get rid of another pesky creature that you would have to deal with that your opponent has in Legacy. You can just bounce it back to their hand. Another good artifact card. This is from Shards of Alara block. 4 mana, 2/2 flyer, Fairy Mechanist. When it enters battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So if you're playing with a lot of artifacts, you get some value. You can draw another artifact card, and you get a flyer for 4 mana. Not shabby. Alright. Gleam of Resistance is from Shards of Alara block. It's part of the basic land cycling cycle. Each of the 5 colors got a card that was essentially an overcosted spell, but it has basic land cycling. So early on, you can use it to fix your mana. and later in the game you can cast it for its ability. So pretty good. Well, that's probably one of the weakest of that cycle. 3 mana for Drag Down. This has Domain, which is for each basic land that you control, it gets a target creature gets -1/-1. So if you have all 5 of the basic land types, you get -5/-5. Even if you have just mono black, it's still -1/-1 instant. But most of the time in draft or limited, you're going to be casting this, probably getting at least -2/-2 at instant speed. Meadow Boon, this is from Lorwyn Block. 4 mana for a 3/3, so a sort of hill giant. When it leaves the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each creature target player controls, which would be yourself, assumedly, and you can evoke it for 4, which is essentially you can cast it as a spell rather than put it into play. So you can use it more as a surprise. Or no, excuse me, I guess it still goes into play, but you have to sacrifice it as soon as it does. So you get the enter battlefield ability, but then it goes away. And that's our first uncommon, by the way. Alright, then Manamorphose. This is new artwork for Manamorphose. It's add 2 mana of any color combination to your mana pool and draw a card for 1 colorless and 1 red or green hybrid mana. This is a popular spell in Storm decks, and the artwork is really nice. This is brand new artwork. So you can check that out. If this was a foil, that would be pretty sweet. But it's regular, which is fine. But yeah, this goes in a lot of Storm decks. Alright, Path to Exile. Fantastic removal spell. One of the best removal spells in years. It's comparable to Swords to Plowshares, where it's a 1 mana white instant. And it exiles a target creature, except they get something. The creature you're exiling, the owner gets something in return. When it was Swords to Plowshare, it was life equal to their toughness, I believe, of the creature, which wasn't that big of a deal, since if you got rid of their big creature, you're going to attack them with your other creatures, and that life won't be a big deal. This is the owner of the creature you exile searches their land, or searches their library for a basic land and puts it into play. However, I've certainly played this in decks with people who don't have basic lands in their deck, so then it's just a freebie 1 mana to get rid of a creature. So this is an awesome card, big fan of it. And this is the artwork that was used in Shards of Alara. The rare is Verdaloth, the Ancient, so no Tarmogoyf. He's no Tarmogoyf for sure. But he is a legendary creature. He can be a commander in a mono green deck. 6 mana for 4/7 as kicker. Sapperling creatures and other tree folk creatures you control get +1/+1, which goes along well with the other Sapperling theme that's going on in the set. And when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, put a 1/1 green Sapperling into play for each mana you paid, equal to X of kicker. So I don't remember what he was in 10th edition, I want to say, which is how he got in Modern Masters. Originally, he's not from a set that's in Modern legally. And the foil is Fury Charm. 2 mana, you can choose 1, destroy target artifact, target creature gets 1/1 and trample until end of turn, or remove 2 time counters from target permanent or suspend it card. So there's lots of cards in the set that have suspend, so if you want to get it into play faster, you can cast this. And the token is a black and green 1/1 worm token, which is from Worm Harvest, which was a rare card in Eventide, but has been downgraded to an uncommon, which I did not open in this set, or this pack. So, I'll be opening more Modern Masters packs in the future here. Keep an eye on the channel. I'm also traveling to Las Vegas for Grand Prix Las Vegas, which is a Modern Masters limited tournament. The first and only one that they will be holding. It's already got, I think, like 2,500 people pre-registered, which includes myself, which is one of the largest Grand Prix ever in history, just from the pre-orders, or pre-registration. So it's going to be huge. There's 10 artists. I'll try to interview all of them. There'll be a lot of pro players. I'll try to interview them as well. I'll be going around talking to the 20-plus vendors, and I'll be running around probably filming a lot of Las Vegas as well. So keep an eye on the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on Magic the Opening. Thanks. Bye.